Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red. This rather cold and looks a bit wet, damp morning. Maybe it will rain and maybe it won't. It's one of those days. Mark chapter 8, and this story is about Jesus feeding the 4,000. And in verse 2, I feel compassion for the people because they have remained with me for 3 days already and have nothing to eat. I feel compassion, Jesus says. He summoned the disciples and he said to them, I feel compassion for the people. Jesus was anticipating the need to solve a problem, and he recognized the natural needs of the people. They had gathered to him for the 3 days, and he was recognizing that they would now become hungry. And so in anticipation of a problem that was about to take place, Jesus already gets there. And getting there before the problem occurs is the application of wisdom, the anticipation of what might be. If you are treading down a road that leads north and you want to go south, then you have got a problem if you continue down the road that leads north. And Jesus sees that there's a problem occurring, and so he calls the disciples. And in that revelation, we see Jesus reveals himself regarding what is motivating him. So he says to the disciples, the people have been with me for 3 days. They have nothing to eat. But he says, I feel compassion for people. Now, there are a lot of people doing a lot of good things, but the reason why they're doing those good things is nothing to do with compassion or the benefit for the people. There can be a lot of pleasure gained in helping people in difficult circumstances. Sometimes people are driven to help others because they just want the pleasure of the blessing that it brings to them first. Now, there is nothing wrong with the blessing of being those who help others if the motivation behind the desire to help others isn't for the blessing itself, but for the desire to help others. Jesus reveals why he is willing to help others anticipate a problem that was going to come for the people who had gathered for that 3 days. And so Jesus, in this scenario, says to the disciples, I feel compassion. And it was the compassion that Jesus felt that motivated him to call the disciples together to try and anticipate how they would bring about the solution to the problem, and how the disciples would reveal themselves in this journey of discovery. But know this today, Jesus is motivated by compassion. The compassion that he felt inside motivated him to act, not because he wanted to feel good, but because he wanted to meet a need. Let compassion be your motive, and your motive will always be pure. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.